Alright, Mr. Valdez, ready?
Ready.
Hi, I'm Mario Alcaraz from the Burbank Hot Seat, a show where we get to know our LBMS staff through the love of hot wings and interesting questions. For this episode, we're joined by one of our glorious LBMS history teachers, Mr. Valdez. Music lover, brother, sports fan, and resident Angelino by way of Montebello. Thank you for joining us.
These things are true. Thank you.
So we've talked about doing this jokingly after the Mr. Direnfeld did it. How do you think his experience has kind of affected you for what we're gonna do right now?
To be honest, I think he was weak. The guy grew up baking in the sun, and that was the best he could do. I'm gonna show him how it's really done.
Alright, so first off, we're gonna start at 6 o'clock. Toss me.
Hold on. Safety first. And then team.
Okay.
One eternity later.
Get that last layer.
We good? Alright, ready?
Cheers.
Cheers. So I know that you've been an LBMS teacher here for some while.
Yeah.
And I know that some students have like something that they really like about how you teach. So I decided to get one of my classmates' opinions on how they like you teach and see how you would react. So one of the most interesting ones that I got was that story time is very dramatic. How would you kind of explain that to us?
You know, and you know in class right now, the story time we just went over it's a really serious, sensitive topic. It's heavy, right? Sometimes when we see something on the page, on the paper, like I was saying in class, we understand. You guys as Burbank students are young and amazing. Your ability to empathize, put yourself in other people's place is outstanding. I feel great as an adult knowing that you guys are going to come out in the future and lead us in the right direction.
Mm-hmm.
But the most important thing, in order for us to get there, it needs to feel real. It needs to feel as real as humanly possible. And when we do story time, that's what it is. It's trying to make it as real as possible, and we do it together because the burden of history is heavy, but it's something we have to take on. When we do it together like that, it gives us that strength to take it and push it forward.
Alright, so next one up counterclockwise.
Okay.
This one is Shiba Gold.
Sheet of gold.
Yeah. Okay, ready?
Cheers, cheers. Here we go.
Okay. So living in Los Angeles for a pretty long while,
Yeah.
and being an LA Dodgers fan, I mean, who isn't?
Yeah.
I mean, if you were in Dave Roberts' position, Game 5 of the NLCS,
Oh.
would you have kept Clayton Kershaw in for the 8th inning? And why?
Okay. This is where I stand with what happened with the Dodgers. If Clayton Kershaw's there in the first place, it's bad news already. The fact that after everything we've supposedly have, that we had to go to him to try to save us again, was just basically showing our cards. That's all we had, and it wasn't going to be good enough. I personally don't think it was fair to Kershaw. He's shown who he was the whole year. We knew who he was. We knew that would have probably been a difficult position for him. He's not the same guy that he was in 2014, 2015. It's not fair to expect that. I think we could have used Kolarek. We got the trade. I think they could have done a lot of things better. I don't know why they were waiting to use Kenley Jensen. There's a lot of questions, Mario. But I do think that it's going to be a while. We're in that position where clearly the old guys are too old and the young guys are too young. So we're going to have to wait. But as always, Dodger faithful, stand by.
Mm-hmm. So we have a segment around here where we take some of our guest pictures and kind of show them and see if we can get a bit more context. So
You didn't find me.
I'll get the iPad and we'll get going. So here we have a picture of you in the desert where I don't know what you're doing. You got a helmet on. So can you explain this?
Yeah. That was me. I was celebrating a friend who was gonna get married It's more than a friend, a mentor. Our very own Mr. Lopez. He was getting married. We went on a trip to celebrate the upcoming marriage, and he'd never been ATVing, so we went to Pismo Beach, got on the dunes. I'd never been as well. It was phenomenal. It was an experience of a lifetime. I played Halo when I was a kid. There's those awesome scenes in Halo when you know, they're driving up these big old hills and like that. It's exactly the way it was. I felt so alive, and yeah, it was a great time. Oh,
This one,
I'm here. Excuse me.
this is a good one. It's you and what I think is a Team Rocket Halloween costume.
That is Team Rocket. You've always known, Mario. I am the villain. As much as you guys would hate to admit it, I'm a villain for sure. And that Halloween, my entire group of friends, we went Pokemon themed. It is what it is, man.
Okay.
I'm proud of it.
So, I did a bit of an oopsie, and we didn't eat the third wing
Okay.
before the third question. So we'll take that right now.
Okay.
All right.
This one?
Yeah, this one.
Gotcha.
This one's Matik's.
This one looks scary.
It's not that scary. Okay, ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Now, recently students have been hearing you play different kinds of music in your classroom as we work. So I decided to get a bit curious and see what is your favorite album of all time and why.
Room on Fire by The Strokes. It's your second album. It's the first album I ended up hearing. It came out about when I was in 7th grade, I think. I never heard a band sound so cool. I was only listening to pop music. Holy moly.
You got this.
I got this.
Come on, show Direnfeld who's boss.
There was only pop music on the radio. It was the end of my 8th grade year, and one of my friends took the CD from his sister, puts it on a CD player, and I stopped and didn't do anything I was doing. I listened to the whole thing from front to back, and music was never the same after that.
So now, because of my little oopsie on my part, we're gonna have to double up. Sorry. Okay, so we're gonna take this one. I'll give you like a minute to kind of let it settle in. Then we're gonna take the last one. All right.
All right.
Sorry, I'm sorry, but we gotta do this. You ready? Watch your projectiles. Ready? Okay. Ready? Let's
Yeah. Here we go. Go.
Okay.
Is that edible?
Yes. Yes, it is. You can do it. You can do it. You got this. All right. It's kind of settled in yet?
We gotta go.
So, this last one, we're gonna go along with the tradition that I started around here with Mr. Direnfeld at the last dab. Okay? You don't have to, if you don't want to, but I'm gonna do it.
You did a dab?
Yep, you did a dab.
Oh, yeah.
That's good enough, that's good enough. Ready?
I'm ready.
Alright, let's do this. Ready? Cheers. Okay. Here you are, Mr. Valdez, the top of the Temple of Spice. 5 wings up, 5 wings down. One last thing that I want to do with you before we leave. There's one thing that I've wondered in your class last year that we didn't quite get to. Now, right now, to me, would be the best time to have you give us your most exciting samurai story right off the bat. Take it.
Oh, pues. Y en Japón. Era dos.
You got Spanish.
No puede hablar. Madre mía,
You can do it. You can do it.
You said story?
Just like a few sentences.
Long time ago, in very far away Japan, there were two rival clans. We had a battle. It was very clear that one side was not going to make it. The general goes to the emperor, the last standing emperor of Japan, before the era of the samurai. And he tells them that they know what they need to do. It was always a plan, just in case. So he takes the emperor, takes him down to the river. When they get to the river, there's no army there to escort him out. There's no boat. It's just the emperor and his general. The emperor looks up at his general, and the general looks at him. Puts his arms around him and begins to take his body, grabs his head, puts him in the river. The emperor's only 6 years old, and he holds him. The emperor's body starts to fight back. The general stays until the emperor's drowned. This was not betrayal. This was not an act of cowardice. It was an act of mercy. Because if that general let any soldier of the opposing clan's army take the life of the emperor, that dishonor would follow the emperor into the afterlife. It was an act of mercy so that the young emperor could maintain his honor. That's how it would usually start. Because the general, the clan that wins, will be the one that establishes the samurai order, establishes the new feudal society of Japan. That is a fascinating time to study.
Alright. Thank you for being here, going through this gauntlet, and taking it on like a champ. You showed Mr. Direnfeld who truly is boss.
You bet I did.
Now, this camera, this camera, this camera. Tell us what the students can expect from your classroom these upcoming months.
Well, for history class, you can expect to talk about a lot of important issues that are shaping our world, issues that will help you understand and make sense of your world, and issues that will empower you to take charge of the world and make it not just what you want it to be, but what it needs to be right now. And you have the power to do that. I'm arming you, I'm making you ready to take the world in your hands.
Alright, thank you everyone for watching. We'll see you next time here on the Bourbon Hot Seat. Alright, I need some because my stomach is burning.